Hi, it's just me this month. It's a bit weird, actually. We got so used to doing these as a team, and then to think it's just me. I feel really exposed. I feel really isolated. I feel really lonely. So why am I doing this on my own? Well, the practical reason is that we've just, for one reason or another, with plans for Easter and everything else going on, we've just not found time for me and Joe and Amy and Charlotte and Andy, for any of us to actually be in the same place at the same time and remember that we need to do a video. And time was getting on, and in the end I just thought, I just have to do it on my own. But also, it's really poignant that I'm doing it on my own, because this month's theme is about connected families. And sometimes as a youth minister, I can feel like I'm doing it on my own, disconnected from everything else to do with church. And I know that those of you that are working with children's or running toddler groups or doing things in schools or whatever it might be, sometimes you can have those same feelings as well. And the reality is we don't do what we do in isolation, or at least we shouldn't do. One of the beauties for me over the years of working here now is being able to work alongside Joe, for us to learn from each other, to explore what children's ministry is like and what youth ministry is like, and how those things interconnect and how we can learn from each other. It's been great being part of team with her and with the rest of the guys. And we know increasingly churches are bringing people in to lead on children's, family and youth collectively. And some of you are in those kind of positions where you're overseeing lots of different things like that. So we start to understand that those things pull together. And as we've started to think about how we shape ourselves moving forward, there was a point where we were saying, well, I'm the youth connector and Joe's the children and families connector. But then we were like, but family's important in both of those. And I think particularly in youth ministry, we sometimes forget that these young people come as part of families, because they're semi-autonomous and that they don't often need families to get them to and from things, or to give permission for them to get involved in things. We can see them in isolation. But we know that faith grows best where children and young people are in families that do things together in their faith development. The most important responsibility around discipleship comes at home. That can be a challenge if you're a child or a young person who's finding faith for themselves in a family unit that doesn't share that faith. And we have to make sure that we build family unit around that in a spiritual way. But for those families that do share that faith, it's part of their responsibility and a part of our responsibility to make sure that we're feeding that and helping those parents and those other family members grow together as family, because that's how disciples grow best, in those intergenerational groups, and we're better to do that than at home. So this month we want to really encourage you to think about how you're connecting with families. Family events, and you'll see some examples of some ideas of family events where you can bring people together from 0 to 18 and their families. But also, how are you communicating to the parents of the children or young people that you're engaging with, whether that's through a school, in a preschool group, in a youth group, in an after-school club, in a message church, whatever it is. How are we seeing ourselves as being collaborators with parents in the discipleship of young people? How are we resourcing those families? Often with families that might be a little bit reluctant. They might feel that, why are we telling them what to do in bringing their children up? So it's a big challenge, but we're with you in that. If you've got ideas and you've got suggestions of ways that you've done things that have worked, or experiences of when things haven't, then do share them with us, so we can share that knowledge across all of the diocese and all the work that we're doing. We are all families ministers, whether we're working with children, youth, or both. And hopefully next time that will be represented in this video, and it won't just be me sitting here on my own, feeling isolated and feeling lonely because I can't do it on my own. I need to be part of that bigger team looking at ministry across the generations. Have a great April. We'll see you soon.